My name is Lindsey Curnutte, and this is On Air with Heritage Action, where we break down in 5 minutes or less how you can get involved today in the fight for conservative values. Democrats are finishing out 2021 with their own version of Nightmare Before Christmas. On Sunday, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin said he would not support President Biden's signature piece of legislation, that Build Back Better bill, which we've talked about a number of times on this podcast. And as you know, this bill is simply a laundry list of far-left priorities that would worsen the inflation crisis. The liberal left of the Democrat Party, those AOCs in the House, the Bernie Sanders in the Senate, they are furious, further proving that Democrats really are in disarray. Look, Manchin is no conservative. He is going to push for some of those policies in BBB next year, but his constituents told him this year loud and clear that they do not want this multi-trillion-dollar bill. This bill would kill their state's industries. It would worsen inflation. So this is really a win today for those grassroots conservatives who called their members of Congress. They wrote op-eds. They really worked to make sure the rest of America knew the truth about Build Back Broke. And your hard work pays off. But this is not the end. Democrats can't pass that radical agenda on their own with that slim majority in the Senate. So on Monday, Schumer laid out his own game plan for 2022. He wants to create new election laws to ensure Democrat victory so that they finally have enough votes to pass that socialist vision for America in Congress. Schumer's plan amounts to nothing more than rigging the election laws in his favor with a federal takeover of state elections. He wants to get rid of voter ID, and he wants to mandate vote by mail, allow same-day registration, all of these policies that increase the chance for fraud. So take a listen to the majority leader's note to his colleagues on Monday. Please be advised that shortly after the 117th Congress resumes in January, the Senate will consider voting rights legislation as early as the first week back. Previous attempts to simply debate such legislation have been obstructed by Republican filibusters, effectively defending the voter suppression and election nullification laws passed by so many state legislatures on party lines with simple majorities. He says, I would ask you to consider this question. If the right to vote is the cornerstone of our democracy, then how can we, in good conscience, allow for a situation in which the Republican Party can debate and pass voter suppression laws at the state level with only a simple majority, but not allow the U.S. Senate to do the same? So that's what's to come in 2022. They are coming after state legislatures that are simply protecting your right to vote. Democrats are pivoting back to that anti-voter bill because they know the only way to pass their radical and unpopular agenda is to rig the rules and elect more Democrats. You'll hear that phrase, protecting democracy, the cornerstone of democracy, a lot from Democrats next year. But make no mistake, this is all a ruse for what they're truly after, which is protecting their own power. Democrats are planning to change the rules to keep themselves in power and pass Build Back Broke. Their socialist agenda is so unpopular with the American people, but once they hollow out that filibuster, Democrats can pass whatever they want. So this is what's at stake in 2022. We're ending the year in a win, but this win is temporary. While this version of BBB may be dead, Schumer is ready to put other versions together. And that's why we've got to double down come January. It's time to turn up the pressure. Keep holding your members of Congress accountable and find new ways to reach them. Stay tuned for our last episode of 2021 on Thursday to learn how you can use some digital tools to do just that. So thank you for your hard work this year, and talk to you again on Thursday. That's it for another episode of On Air with Heritage Action. Thank you for tuning in. Share this episode with your friends, and be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Rumble to stay in the know and up to date with Heritage Action. And one last thing, if you'd like to get updates on the podcast sent straight to your phone, text podcast to 51776. That's podcast to 51776.